Hi friends, we're continuing to talk about time. Today we're going to talk about time in our day. And I just want to show you briefly that Mr. Benachek went out in the garden and he brought in my sundial. That's another way to tell time. Not now, it's kind of for fun. But back a long time ago when there weren't clocks, they did use the sun to help tell time. I remember in the fall when we did our research for science on shadows and the same how our bodies look are the same way as sundial works. So it was just kind of fun. Mr. B brought it in and said, show your kids a sundial. And it does have the 12, the 3, the 6, the 9, like a regular clock. And again, it's the angle of the shadow of the sun that it casts onto this to tell you what time it is. Today we're going to focus on AM and PM, and we talked a little bit about that before school ended, that AM is early in the morning, like when everybody's sleeping, and it goes until noon, till lunchtime. Think about school, we'd go to lunch about 11:15, 12 o'clock was when you were out at recess, and that would be the change from AM to PM. We're going to do a little activity, or I'm doing the work, you're doing the thinking. I have some different times, and I want us to think about this. I want us to think, would that be happening in the morning, in the AM, or would it happen in the PM? This first one says lunch, yum, at 11:30. Now think about it. Most of the time we think, oh, lunch is in the afternoon. 11:30 is AM. And we're going to put it over here. That's our lunchtime was at 11:15 at school. So it really is morning yet until 12 o'clock. Let me show you that really quickly before we continue. Let's see here. I'm doing clockwise. So AM is from 12 o'clock at night when it's very dark out and everyone's sleeping. That's 12 o'clock AM. And we keep going. 1 o'clock. This is all in the morning, early morning when we're all sleeping. Here's 5 o'clock. That's when Mrs. B gets up, 5 o'clock AM. Some families might get up at 6, depending. I think when you guys were going to school, you might have gotten up at 7 or 7:30 a.m. And it keeps going. There's 8 o'clock a.m. That's when you leave for school. 9 o'clock is during our morning meeting. 10 o'clock. Oh, here it comes. Our tummies were rumbling. We'd say, when is lunch? About 11:15 a.m. But watch. When it gets to 12 o'clock, that's PM. That starts the afternoon, and it starts, here's the afternoon. We going to specials. You'd be packing up, getting ready to go home. Many of you would do your homework, 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock. Maybe some families were eating dinner, 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8. Some of us getting ready for bed, taking baths or showers. 9 o'clock PM. Remember, this is all afternoon and evening. We're getting to 11 o'clock, and then finally here's midnight, and that starts the new day, the AM time. So it went 12 hours of AM into 12 hours of PM, and that makes a whole day. 12 plus 12 is 24. So let's continue with our game and thinking about time. All right, here we go. Bedtime. And it's hard to see, but this little picture is a little boy in bed. And it says 8 o'clock. So that would be 8 o'clock PM. Take the bus home from school. That would be 3 o'clock PM. Ooh, deep sleep. Snuggled under the covers. 2 o'clock AM. That's really early in the morning. And again, it's very important sometimes to add AM or PM. If you're having a party or something, it could be 2 p.m. It wouldn't be 2 a.m., but it would be in the afternoon. Dinner, 6:30 p.m. It's in the evening. Wake up, 6 o'clock. That's in the morning when the sun starts coming up. 6 o'clock a.m. Homework time. Now, when we were in school, you probably did your homework when you got home after a snack. 4 o'clock p.m. Start of school, 8 o'clock a.m. So there's different activities we do throughout the day, whether it's a.m. or p.m. Today we're going to practice and with our clocks again, and I'm going to show us some of the digital time and analog time, and we'll practice telling the time. I'm just moving that over here. Oh, I've got my marker. So I'm going to show a time on here, and then we're going to find it on our analog clock. So here's our digital time. Let's do 7, and I'm going to add the PM or AM. 7 p.m. So that means it's nighttime. You're probably done, maybe getting ready to take a bath. Here I go. I'm going clockwise. There's 2, 3 o'clock. There's our o'clock time. 4, 5, 6, 7 o'clock p.m. Some of us may be getting ready to watch TV or play a game. There's our 7 o'clock p.m. Let's try another one. How about 4 o'clock a.m. That's really early in the morning, even before the sun gets up. So here we go. We're going around clockwise. 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. We're going around to 4 a.m. And there's 4 a.m. If it was p.m., that would be maybe you were getting home from school, or maybe today now you're busy doing an activity or helping mom get ready for dinner. All right, we'll do it. Now we're going to change it up. We're going to look at this clock, and then we're going to have to do the digital time. Oh, all right. Let's look at the hour hand first. It's pointing to the 6. There's the o'clock time. So it looks like this. 6 is the hour. That's the red hand, and it's o'clock. It could be a.m. or p.m., whichever one we choose. Let's do a couple more. How about look at the hour hand and the o'clock. That's 9 o'clock. In the morning, you might be eating breakfast. At night, it's probably you're in bed already, or maybe watching a movie, staying up a little bit later. And our last one. 12 o'clock. And 12 o'clock could be in the morning when everyone's sleeping, where it's starting a new day at 12 o'clock, or it could be lunchtime. All right, boys and girls, you can practice telling time at home. You can use a paper plate, and you can make your own face of a clock. Remember, the 12 is at the top, the 3, the 6 is at the bottom, and the 9. And then you just fill in the numbers as best you can. Try to be neat, but it doesn't have to be perfect. And then you could do an activity even with your brothers and sisters, or with mom and dad, and you could practice telling time with even using a scratch piece of paper. But it's really important to practice telling time. Homework is on page 153, and the remembering page is 154. I'll talk to you soon. Bye.